New at 5, with the help of the city, Decatur Fire and Rescue hopes to add 2 new fire stations to help reduce response times in certain areas. Take a look at your screen. Fire and Rescue would like to add a fire station near the new Austin High School, as well as one near Calhoun Community College, close to the I-565 corridor. WAAY 31's Stephen Dilsizian is live in Decatur after learning more about the possibility of these new stations. Stephen.
Dan, there are currently 8 Decatur Fire and Rescue stations all throughout the city of Decatur, but I talked with the chief today and he said in some areas of the city he is not satisfied with his team's response rate. I asked him how he thinks that we should fix this. He said make those 8 stations turn into 10. Decatur Fire and Rescue Chief Tony Grandy knows his crew has a tough time getting to certain areas in a timely manner.
The fact of the matter is, in a geographically spread city that's 60-plus square miles, it's hard to do that.
But he is turning to the city to create a game plan to change that. Grandy wants to add 2 new fire stations in Decatur, one close to the new Austin High School and one close to I-565, so his crew can respond much quicker in those areas. Because right now, he tells me it takes about 8 minutes. His team is judged on 2 things, and these changes would only help.
The mileage pot, and one is how quickly you get there. So when we look at those 2, the only way for us to improve covering more miles and to reduce our rating any further would be the addition of extra fire stations.
Grandy says each new station would need to hire at least 12 new employees, and the city is currently open to the idea. Grandy knows this is a big issue now, but says it could only get worse in the future when these areas grow in population.
You always look for the future. Where do your problems, where do your gaps exist in the future?
Now, I asked the chief how much these stations would cost. He tells me each station would be around $2 million, and one fire truck alone is $500,000. He's working with the city and wants these stations within the next 5 years. Reporting live in Decatur, Stephen Dilsizian, WAAY 31 News.
Thanks, Stephen. Nationally, the average time people have to wait for emergency help is about 8 minutes. According to Reuters, last year, about 10% of patients waited for almost a half an hour before help arrived. And in rural areas, patients on average wait 14 minutes. That means bystanders should be prepared to give first aid until responders arrive at the scene.